Imagine it's Memorial Day, it's warm, and family is all around you. Now imagine a day that's very different from that, one including police brutality and death. That would be the day 46-year-old George Floyd had. Floyd was arrested for using a fake $20 bill at a Cup Foods in Minneapolis. Police officer Derek Chauvin, 44, decided Floyd, an unarmed man, needed to be taken down. Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck and back for nearly 9 minutes as Floyd begged, as he pled because he couldn't breathe. After feeling for a pulse after roughly 6 minutes, Chauvin continued to kneel on Floyd for another 3. George Floyd was a victim of unnecessary police brutality that ended his life. The next events to show this narrative is one that needs to end. Being as close geographically as you are, we remember this it is a hometown issue that involves you no matter how you judge this issue. As details of this event were shared, Minneapolis quickly responded, becoming the epicenter of this wave. The peaceful protesters wearing shirts and holding signs with Floyd's last words, "Please, I can't breathe." It didn't take long for the protesters to have offshoots of rioters. In Minneapolis, the first few nights were chaos, mainly described as a battlefield. Restaurants, banks, stores, businesses, even the police center, all vandalized. Most were locally owned, which left many questioning the rioters' motives. The looters of Target and liquor stores also raised few questions. The harsh reality, though, peaceful protesters are being lumped in with the groups of rough looters and rioters. And for what? What could be worth it to all these individuals to take away from the real issue of police brutality? Many question that very point. CNN, Fox, and WCCO have all speculated that this injustice is a good mask for those who had ill intentions from the start. The most amazing part of all of this is the response from around the country. It isn't unheard of for there to be protests, but of this magnitude, it's unprecedented. Due to that very point, local and state authorities are having an extremely hard time keeping peace. Even with curfews in many cities, people keep showing up. U.S. News explains that the National Guard and other military groups are becoming active to keep the country safe. Losing control of the people could be because leaders haven't really ever had control. People are upset with this now because of how the case is being handled. Their anger may not be as misplaced as many may like to think. Derek Chauvin is the main perpetrator of this case and is currently being charged with third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. The 3 other cops involved have not been charged but were fired. Many people were angry, and rightfully so, but Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, as well as the FBI, have explained they don't want to miss anything and hurt the case. They also said that if they can make these charges stick, they can determine if more charges can be filed later on, Ellison told NBC. Chauvin is currently being held at bail of $500,000 in Ramsey County. He's not being held in the county the act took place because of the threats and risks to the facility itself. Chauvin is the first white officer in Minnesota to be charged with the death of a black civilian. This has some believing real change could be coming, while others see it as another awful thing that could potentially be swept under the rug. The things I brought to your attention today are just the start to this issue. Black Lives Matter have been relentlessly trying to bring attention to cases just like this for years. The horrific events that happened on May 25th started a revolution that has potential to gain so much momentum. There seems to be no end until the brutality and injustice can be overcome. The fact it took humanity nearly 400 years to be having this very talk leaves some hopeful and others hopeless. As you leave tonight, I encourage you to remember that the luxury you have of generally not fearing for your life when being approached by a police officer. I understand this was a small overview, but it was made to make you think. Thank you, and good night.